You are writing a symphony, a symphony. And even in the violence, there is peace, driving out the voices all around me. Through all of this chaos, you are writing a symphony, a symphony. Oh. Okay, the symphony of my life, the symphony of your life, the story it's trying to tell you. Some Sunday wisdom. Okay. So as I put the pieces of my life together, this story that's happening, this story that this energy that this body is telling me, I'm finding that this is a huge, crazy, amazing puzzle that is really beautiful if you let it tell the story it's meant to tell. So as I'm finding out about my life and who I am and what I'm supposed to be doing for my own health and wellness, coming into my purpose, coming into my soul destiny, learning what energy looks like, learning what my responsibility looks like, learning what accountability looks like on my end, and learning really how to live in that and stay in that mode, because it's easy to go in and out of there, but to stay there consistently and to be able to find structure, to create something for yourself, like a pattern that you can live in, like a new healthy pattern, it takes work. So trust me, I know. Okay, so I want to talk about relationships, but about interpersonal relationships. I'm not necessarily talking about romantic, but it can be. I'm talking about relationships overall with people and what that looks like, and how that surfaces in your life. What your resistance is to people, what your resistance is to relationships, in relationships, what your part in relationships looks like, what your response is to people, how you are reacting to people, what your types of interactions are like, and what these relationships are actually there for. So I had a little bit of an epiphany yesterday. I get those every once in a while. And I had some things come to me about just the people in my life. And not that I didn't know this, and this is kind of obvious, but I like to state the obvious because we don't always do that. But these people are actually in my life, and I'm in their life. We are supposed to be teaching each other lessons. And so this is like a storyline. If you think even about the Bible being written, it's a storyline. You have a storyline here. We have a storyline that's happening. We're in this new agey time where we're going from, mental health and wellness and spirituality all being under the system, and now we're coming out, finding out for ourselves, waking up, and we're going to be in this new place of health, wellness, medicine, relationships, accountability, interaction, life, just really accountability like on a whole nother level, and medicine and health and wellness, and how to integrate that all as one. We're coming into that time. It's pretty cool. So knowing that when you are working with a timeline when things are changing, and you're able to see the shift in the reasons for things, the response from things, and what's happening. So specifically about the relationships again. Sorry, I veer off sometimes. That happens. Okay, so the relationships, so the people in our life and why they're there for those reasons. So very specifically speaking, I have my soul tribe, I have my family, and I have so many people I work with. It's so many people already, and I feel like I'm just at the beginning. So it's amazing. But these people are all here to teach us something. Now, I'm the type of person that when I have interaction with somebody, I'm a reflector. So my interaction with them helps me learn about myself. I know that's the type of person, how I see things. So interaction helps me. And then I get like this really cool twisted perspective that gives me a whole like clear picture. It's part of like the clairvoyancy I have. It gives me a real clear picture about actually the whole scan of the landscape and what's happening, like a way bigger, broader view of how the picture all fits together, not just the little tiny piece that we're seeing and we're so focused on. I'm able to see like the whole landscape. So when these relationships happen and these things are happening that we're either resisting or we're not, and either we like or we don't, or feel good to us or don't, they're either happy lessons, not so happy lessons, but they are lessons. So with these things happening, it's interesting because what I've seen happen is, especially recently for me, is everything's trying to tell us something. So I'm just going to give you, for example, and this is probably way too personal, but whatever. I mean, I just talk about my life all the time here, so I don't really care. Okay, so my oldest son, who's 26, doesn't really talk to me very much, because again, on paper, well, a stupid medical diagnosis, he's just sensitive and doesn't know how to protect himself energetically, really. But on paper, he has Asperger's, and he doesn't like to communicate. He historically has not been a big communicator, does not like that. Now that he's in the Bay and I'm here in San Diego, he really doesn't really give a shit about communicating with me. And then he lives with my parents, who are energetically not the healthiest people, not trying to sell anybody under the bus, but it's pretty bad. And so him not knowing his boundaries, them not having boundaries, and energetically being so fucking unhealthy and not doing much about it, and being in complete denial or even knowing. And this is like the American syndrome, and that's what I realized. It's not personal, it's not bad. Well, it is bad, it sucks, but energetically speaking, most people don't really understand how to get out of what we're in, because the pile of shit we're in is so deep that we don't know how to start getting out of it. So I can understand how my family's in the position that they are, because the pile of shit just gets so high, you just don't know how to shovel out. And that's just, I mean, that's how it is for a lot of people, and I get that. No harm, no foul. And so this is kind of funny, because how God's speaking to me through lessons and through making me learn about control is my baby won't really talk to me, and it's like fucking breaking my heart. And all I want to do is have a relationship with them. And he's with my parents, who I don't speak to, who I know talk shit about me and energetically do not wish me well, and it's creepy for me. But here's the thing, is that if God wouldn't have given me this lesson with my son and then my parents, which are gonna be two of the biggest relationships I have or have had in my life, how would I have learned these deep lessons or have experienced them if I didn't go through them personally? How can I teach you guys about them? How can I teach you guys about deep pain and how to process through that if God doesn't cut me super deep too? So this is the process of the relationships again, and learning and finding out why God's putting certain things in the place that they're in, and how the shitty, painful ones, how God, those are really the good ones that like dig at you. So me learning to process, me learning to work at my son's pace, me learning to listen to intuition, me learning to cut ties when I need to cut ties, me learning when people try to reel me back in, me learning about bullshit, me learning about boundaries. I mean, just so many things, you guys, so many things. And I know you guys can relate, because this is like a human thing. Like, seriously, this is like the human condition. And this is what people do. This is what people do. They don't understand what's happening. They're not learning their lessons. They're full of shit. We are all full of shit. And I'm full of shit too, because we've all been full of shit. And so this is not about blame, but this is just about looking at how we're learning the lessons, the relationships, what they're trying to tell us. Because everybody's got parents, everybody's got families, everybody's got bullshit, everybody's got uncomfortable stuff. Everybody on the face of the planet, we all have it. I don't care who you are. It's not about blame. I'm not mad at anybody. Things just are what they are. So learning that, oh my God, these lessons aren't really even personal. Like, people could be assholes, and that's fine, but they're not even really personal. These people all have their life paths and their lessons that they're trying to learn too. So let me think about my son. So if I'm not thinking energetically just about myself and being very selfish with my, oh, I want to talk to him, oh, I want a relationship with him, and I'm not considering his needs, that's not okay too. So me learning about boundaries, me learning about over-involvement, me learning where energetically I can affect things, and then energetically where I cannot affect things, that's important. That's really important. Where do you spend your time? How much energy you give to something, how you let that affect you, what that's looking like for you. let's just say soul family. So we are all here to teach lessons. Like me and my soul tribe, like we check each other. We have to tell each other, look, like, because I know I'm really harsh to deal with. I'm like the honesty queen, and I know I'm a great friend to have, but I'm not always the greatest friend to have. Because if you want advice from me, but you want bullshit, I'm not going to give it to you. And so I just know that about myself. So these relationships and learning where these boundaries look like, where we're supposed to teach each other things. So we're supposed to be honest with each other. We're supposed to learn all the lessons. Like for me, looking in the soul contract reading, I can see where my karma is, both physically and spiritually, and find out they're like quantifiable lessons that I'm supposed to be learning. So I know with every interaction, with every relationship, with every experience, I'm actually gaining lessons to work me through my karma and help me fine-tune my path on the Star of David for the soul contract readings that I do, and basically get you to your life purpose, which is in the middle once you kind of master all of the things that are in your numbers. So I know that all these experiences are actually offering me what my soul is needing to like level up. So these relationships are telling me something. They're teaching me something for me to allow things in my life, like experiences, lessons that are hard, good, bad, however we want to define them or quantify them. But both just allowing spirit to teach me through my experiences, through my relationships, and through these lessons. So I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful to them. They're not always fun. They're definitely not comfortable. More time than not, they're uncomfortable. But as I'm learning, this journey is not about being comfortable and having a smile because things are easy all the time, because it's not the reality that we're in. So just understanding that the lessons be the lessons and let them be the lessons. Let yourself work through them, process through them, learn from them, release from them, level up from them. That's the gift. Those are the gems. So take the gems, leave the shit, and learn your lessons and make it a day. Be done with that. Move on, get a good night's sleep, and level up again tomorrow. So wake up to what's happening in your life, what's happening in your relationships, what your life experiences are trying to teach you. Spirit's very literal, so just look around at the landscape of your life, see what you can read, see what you may not be seeing. So please like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, go to my website at drayalove.com, book appointments, soul contract readings, change your life.